That's your cable company.
No, no, that's me.
That's you.
That's
Oh God, you gotta be
oh
kidding
dear
me.
God. Oh
Ladies and
man.
gentlemen, let me explain this, okay?
Yeah, please
Here
do.
we are. We've been came on at 7 o'clock. We've been talking just like we're live, and I'm
13
going. I
minutes.
don't know. Like I've told y'all in the past, all I do is show up and I sit here. Mac does all the real stuff. The editing and now he tells me. I said, well, it was your cable company, right? No,
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 no, no,
it was
no.
me. So you mean to tell me you've had us talking for 11 minutes to nobody, to
To
ourselves?
nobody. To nobody. For even for those people who are wondering right now, Teddy Long, and I do want to get this across because people are going to wonder where you are and why you're sitting in the background you're in.
Well,
First of all, for all of those of you who are in here right now, share this. Let everybody know we are live. It wasn't an April Fool's joke to not be here.
that would have been good. We should have thought of that.
Oh man, yeah, that would have been good. But Teddy, tell everybody though, in all honesty, your background, you've had a hell of a time recently.
Well, I did. I this past weekend, I was in Lexington, North Carolina this past Saturday night for AML wrestling. Had a great time there, and also I me and Denise had spent the weekend together. So I left Denise and I came on back home on let's see, Monday, and that Monday night, all of a sudden I hear this boom, and I don't know what it is, but it's real loud. So now I'm scared. Oh well, yeah, you can show it right there.
Yeah.
That's my living room there. And I was in the next room, so I don't know what to tell you. It's scared Rufus to death. What I had to do is to move out of there because they told me this. They found two or three notes. Somebody had left some notes or something that maybe this may have been intentionally.
Oh,
I
good
don't
gosh.
know. So I don't know. So they told me the best for me is to move out until they can let me know when to come back in. So they're paying for where I'm staying now. So
Yeah,
I
I know you called me right after that happened. You're like, I don't know what just happened in my house, but scared the living out of me. And yeah, I can see why after you sent that picture. I'm like, yeah, I can imagine that would just
yeah.
scare the hell out of you. Guys, again, I'm sorry that we were late coming on. We were actually here on time, but my dumbass didn't turn on the go live button, and Teddy and I were just talking to ourselves for 13
They know. Hey,
minutes.
they know what they. Let me tell you something. You can quit trying to fool these people. They know exactly what your problem is and my problem. They know what They know what we done.
And
Okay.
by
Yeah.
the way,
Stop. Yeah, and then the other thing too. So the other thing too, we was doing too. We was apologizing to you guys for
yes,
not being on last week because I dropped the ball. Matt called me and told me, and my thing was I was going to get on live and let everybody know, but that Mac wasn't feeling well. He was under the weather, and that we wouldn't be doing the show. But like y'all know me, so I forgot. So I did.
hey, it happens. This is one of those shows. We don't get paid a nickel for this show. We come here to have a good time, and sometimes we just screw up, but we have a good time while we do it. I
Hey,
promise you that.
You know what Vince told me one time? I did something on TV and it was live and it pissed me off so bad. I thought he was gonna be mad with me because I went to tell him I didn't mean it. He looked at me and said, "Hey, if it was live, it was meant to be."
Yes, yes. And I agree with that. I think some of the best moments or moments that weren't supposed to happen, that just kind of came off the cuff, whether somebody was, shooting a little bit in the ring outside of what a promo may have been or seeing an opportunity to make something bigger than it already was. Those are the moments that I love the most, especially in the wrestling. It really is. Dennis Condrey, we did mention him as well while we were talking to ourselves. Dennis Condrey of the Midnight Express passing away, Teddy. And any thoughts about Dennis Condrey you want to pass along?
Yeah, well, the only thing you can pass along about Dennis Condrey is what a hell of a nice guy he was. What a great guy. I mean, always, respected people. And, he was just and really a fun guy in the locker room. So
Yeah.
I had a chance to work with him. It's between him and Stan Lane, who the original Midnight Express was. But I think Dennis was the original one. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, I believe you're
also,
correct.
Right, and also we did mention beautiful Bobby Eaton, another super nice guy. Me and him wrote. He was so funny, it was unbelievable. He would Bobby Eaton, and I'm not trying to get off Dennis Conner. We
No,
love
no.
Dennis, but Bobby Eaton we'd be in Disney, and he'd go to the store. What did he buy? He didn't buy no worms. He'd buy something else. He'd put on his hook to fish in the lakes out there. And so then when he put something on there, hominy, that's what it was, hominy. He'd put that for bait, and then when he catch something, he's scared to death of it. He won't take it off. He's trying to find somebody to get it off, and he's running from it while he's holding it. Oh yeah.
But Bobby, my memory with Bobby is in the Independence. I was doing a show in Warner Robins, Georgia, for Sarge, who also watches this show, and Sarge had a show going on, and they asked me to do the spot, to be a lumberjack around the ring. And it just so happened that I was on one end of where the faces would be, facing to the heels. And Bobby was the heel, I was the face. And I can tell you, Bobby made me look like $1,000,000 just doing what he did. He
That
sold
was his
so
job.
damn, yes.
That
Uh,
was his job, and he loved doing it. You
yeah,
know what I
man.
mean? He wasn't selfish. You know what I mean? He whatever he could do to help you, he didn't care. Is that what you want to do now? I don't care, guys. Yeah.
And I had no clue that was even going to happen. That was off the cuff. It just happened to be how we lined up. And
Well, he
and
thought
he's,
about you, and he said, "Let me make this guy look good."
yeah,
And yeah, the Bobby was just like that. Yeah, like I said, he was a super nice guy.
yeah,
And
he's not a
another thing
person
about
out there
Bobby,
either.
he's
Go
the
ahead.
first guy to start me to eating Haagen Dazs raisin rum raisin.
Ooh, I've never
He
had that
loved
before.
Haagen Dazs rum raisin. He loved that, and I started eating that ice cream. Boy, that is, I'm telling you, you try it.
All right, Teddy. Let's see. I do want to bring up one thing that we talked about before we realized we were not talking to anybody but ourselves. John
Do you have
Cena.
to keep repeating that?
John Cena, he retired not long ago, although he is now coming back to WWE because he's going to be the host for WrestleMania. And Dave Meltzer had recently been quoted as saying it was because it was absolutely because of slow ticket sales. I can't disagree with that. What Dave is saying, it has to be slow ticket sales because they've been chasing these ticket sales for quite some time. When in reality, they should be almost damn sold out, shouldn't they, Teddy?
If Vince McMahon was in charge, they'd be sold out because Vince would know the right way to do it. It's just not being done right to me. But who
Yeah,
am I? I don't know shit. But anyway, like I said, I think it's a good move for him. John Cena, the people love him. He has a great following. I think he'll be a big help to him there at WrestleMania, and that kind of fits him, because if you look at Cena when he's in the suit and tie and he's on like in movies and stuff or during the commercials, he's got that business voice, that radio
yeah.
voice, that deliverance. So I think, him commentating or whatever they got him doing, hosting or whatever it is, he'll do a great job at it. And I think the people want to come out and see him. I think they miss him already.
Do you think that'll boost the ticket sales for kids to come see John Cena? Because I would imagine that's who they're going after, right?
Well, yeah, I would think, like I said, I think they miss him already.
Let's see. Some of those in the chat room appreciate it very much for you being here all this time. Zach, April Fool's Day, Teddy and Mac, and it is April Fool's Day, so happy April Fool's Day to you too, Zach.
Yeah,
We also have. Go ahead.
you stay tuned, Zach. We got an April Fool for you.
Pretty classy lady saying holla holla players.
Well, holler back at you, pretty classy lady.
And she was also saying hello to Zach. Let's see. We have Patrick saying starting late. Yeah, go back to the start of this when when we're actually on screen.
Yeah, we don't even know. We don't even know who you are, Patrick.
Let's see. Curly Man. Hey, Teddy and Mac, I have a question. I saw a SummerSlam hardcore match between Al Snow and Big Boss Man, and it went all over the place. How do you, as a referee, prepare for a match like that? Good question.
Well, you don't. It's nothing to prepare for. You already know what it's going to be. What Gordon Solie would call it, a Donnybrook. I mean, it's going to be wild. Only thing you got to be there for is to kind of stay out of the way. If things get, a little bit where you need to break something up, you got to be there to do that. But basically, with that type of match, you just stay out of the way and just try to make sure that when you're needed. If something happens there where the referee's needed, you're right there to be, doing what you need to do.
What was one of the more difficult matches for you to ref in the WWE?
I think the triple threats were the ones that kind of got me till I kind of got the hang of it. But because when I first started doing them, there was three guys there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, where's the other guy? I'm waiting on a tag.
Yeah,
So
I would
that,
imagine because the referee, for a lot of people who don't know, the ref in the ring does a lot more than just count three.
yeah.
He's directing traffic a lot of times. And so if there's more people in this match, that's more he has to remember as to who's doing what where. And that becomes a little bit difficult, I would imagine.
And I always remember this. I remember one time I was working with the Dudleys. I was refereeing. I just went to Vince, and I was working with the Dudleys, and I was working with Spike. Spike Dudley will tell you this. And so everything was going great. Okay, the guy goes out of the ring. So Spike looks at me and he's, oh shit, I forgot what to do. I said, baseball slide. And he's, oh yeah. I called it for him
Yep.
because I'd seen this a million times, you know what I mean? And he thanked me, I don't know, he thanked me 100 times. I'm like, Spike.
I mean,
I'm
because
just, I'm
wrestlers, Teddy, and referees too. We're no different than anybody else. And sometimes when you're on the job, you get a brain fart, and that can
well,
happen in the middle of a
and that's
match.
what I was doing. My mind, I was worried, thinking about my job. I wasn't studying nothing else but
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
going on in that ring.
Let's see. We also have Patrick asking both of you if both of you were not in wrestling, what would you do? Teddy, you want to take that
I don't
first?
know. I've been in wrestling too long to answer a question like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
I've been in wrestling most of all my life, or almost 40 some years.
I think that you and I probably would be the same way. If it wasn't something in wrestling, it'd be some type of entertainment, whether it be radio, TV, or something along those lines, because
Yeah.
creative people tend to gravitate in those directions. And
Well,
I think that'd be the same thing for you, I'd imagine.
Well, I was in radio. I was a disc
Yeah.
jockey in radio, and that's how I got into wrestling. I met James Brown while I was in radio, and James Brown started doing a dance show at the TBS studios down there, and it was called Future Shock. And well, James knew me from radio. I knew his son, everything. So James gave me a job to come down and select the music. It was like Soul Train, a dance show,
Yeah.
and he wanted me to just select the music for the people to dance by. Well, that same studio is where they were taping Georgia Championship Wrestling every Saturday. So I found that out. And so then on Saturdays, I'd get my son, and me and my son would go down and watch the wrestling. And I could get in because I working for James and security, they'd let me and my son in. So that's how I got into wrestling, thanks to radio.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, radio's offered me a lot of opportunities, and radio also was kind of my way of getting into wrestling as well in a roundabout way. Let's see, EKD saying, "Hey guys, hope all is well." And Teddy, I want to tell you something. This past week, I had to switch out. Actually, it was last week. Switch out my internet provider because I was having issues with the quality of the service I was getting from one of these providers.
Yeah.
So I call and I go to say, hey, I want to cancel my service. I want to send my equipment back. And the guy on the telephone says, have you ever thought about getting in radio? And I just kind of laughed and I said, no, I've, kind of went through the little thing with him. And then I said, I do a podcast now. And when I told him that, what the podcast was, he said he was going to pop in here tonight. I don't want to say his name unless he comes in the room and says it's all right. But he was a really cool guy, major wrestling fan. So hopefully if you're in the room, thank you for that. And thank you for doing a great job. Even though I had to cancel the service for the company you work for, you did a fantastic job. I can tell you that. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? We have, I'm trying to get the name here. Oh, Money Mac. Hello, gentlemen, and happy April Fool's Day coming to you from the Bay Area in San Francisco, California.
Well, happy April Fool's Day.
Teddy, he's over in the West Coast area, where they have all these kind of crazy earthquakes and stuff. Maybe that's what happened in your house. Maybe that was an earthquake that came through just in the center of your house.
Well,
caused a giant hole.
I have no idea.
Okay. I haven't seen a hole that big since I dated. Never mind. Let's see. Oh, wait, look, we need to get away real quick because we do need to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll tell you more what's going on in the chat room, plus questions that we still have. Hang on, guys. We got plenty coming up.
Let's do this. You wanted more, so we're bringing you Fan Fest 4. JBL, Mickey James, Carlito, Haku, Dan Severn, Robert Gibson, Carrie and Ricky Morton, Glow Girl Sonny, Bobby Fulton, Eddie Long and Mac Davis, the Brooklyn Brawler, Johnny Ross, Doris the Clown, Demolition, D-Lo Brown, Buck Bagwell, Harvey Whippleman, Paul Ellering, the Powers of Pain, Wildfire, Tommy Rich, Cowboy Bob Orton, and more. May 8th and 9th, Fairview Heights, Illinois, at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. SICW Fan Fest 4. Plus, the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Weekend includes Mick Foley's one-man show and the Bruiser Brody Memorial. SICW.org.
Letters, oh we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
Yo.
And we're back. Yo, that's what you, you come back with just yo.
That's it.
By the way, I can't remember what I was listening to, Teddy. There was a podcast somewhere over the weekend where somebody was calling you a milk dud head. I can't remember.
Oh, there was the guy was talking about me putting people in matches with the Undertaker.
That's what it was. Yeah, you milk dud head.
He said, "You mean to tell me I come in there and do all this work and this is my gift one-on-one with the Undertaker?"
Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but in SICW, we just played a commercial for them a minute ago about the big fan fest coming up in Fairview Heights, Illinois. And Big Nasty Glenn Williams still running his mouth, Teddy. I hope that when you get there as general manager, you at least stick it to this guy. Just do me a favor. Stick it to this guy, will you?
Well, once I get there, I have to fill him out. So once I fill him out, then I'll see exactly what he can take and what he can't take. So I'll know exactly how to handle Big Nasty.
No, he can handle an all-you-can-eat buffet. I can tell that. But outside of that,
Well, but you got to realize they ain't calling him nasty for nothing. He's nasty.
no, he is nasty. You nasty, baby. You nasty. What's that from? I don't remember this from.
You nasty girl.
You nasty. Let's see. I thought we are victims of an April Fool's joke. Not exactly sure what that's referencing, but hey, it's today. Who knows? Joe Helms saying, "Good evening, fellas."
Good afternoon, Joe Helms.
And Martin's daddy. What's up, Mac and Teddy? Good to see you,
Hey.
Martin's daddy.
Hey, good to see you too, player.
And we have Martin's daddy also asking, "What do you guys think of Danhausen?" Teddy, do you know who Danhausen is?
Yeah, I think he's a newcomer, a friend of CM Punk's, I believe, and he's just getting started out. I saw a little bit of him, so I don't want to, say anything because I really don't know. You know what I mean? But I think he's real entertaining. I seen that part that I liked about him. I just thought the way that they brought him in, I didn't agree with that. Because that didn't tell me what am I trying to build here, a heel or babyface. What character am I trying to send to the people? So, but like I said, as far as I know, he's great, doing good, and I wish him all the success.
Yeah, I that's about that's about the best place to leave it right there.
Yeah.
Look here, I'm trying to read all these things that I had. We have got a busy room. Oh, Danhausen, I did want to say this. If you knew Danhausen from before, he puts on these spells and stuff on people, which is his gimmick. I don't think you'll ever see Danhausen in WWE wrestle. I think he's there to do the kind of the comedy gimmick that we are used to seeing from Santino Marella or Steven Regal at times, where he was great in his comedy, or R-Truth. Again, they have to have these comedy people, and I think he's just one of those guys they can throw on there just for some comedy relief.
Well, whatever they put him with, if it works for him, then great, go with it, man. Then thank God you got a job.
Chad Drigger's in the room, and Chad, I saw you had sent me a message earlier. It's either your birthday or something like that. I think I saw that in the last second, but in fact, Teddy, if you'll talk for a minute and say hello to Chad, I'll see if I can figure out.
Yeah,
what it was.
I see Chad on Facebook every now and then. Yeah, good to hear from you, and man, appreciate you sending all your love to us. And
Yeah,
I don't know what we're gonna do with Mac. His memory has just seemed to be just shot. I
yeah,
have no idea why.
I can't imagine what it would be. Maybe it's just pure,
His memory is so bad he could hide his own Easter eggs.
God, that's coming up this weekend, Teddy.
Well,
It's
okay,
Easter already.
hide your own Easter eggs. You'll never find them.
Well, that's okay. I've never was an Easter kind of guy when it came to that celebration, like hunting eggs and stuff like that. I thought that was stupid. All I wanted was the candy. If there's candy involved in Easter, give me that. The chocolate bunny, whatever it is. But outside of that, running around in these little, suits, and while the girls had their fancy dresses on, trying to find Easter eggs everywhere. I know that's normal. I'm not making fun of anybody. It just never was my thing when it
Yes,
came
you
to
are.
holidays.
Yes, you are making fun of people.
I'm just a Grinch, I guess.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
How soon before you get back in your place, Teddy? I mean, with that big old hole.
I
they
don't
don't
know.
know?
I'm waiting to hear from them. They'll let me know. I don't know.
How deep
But
is
right
that
now
damn hole?
they've
That
got
hole is deep.
they've got yellow tape all around it.
Jeez. Okay. Let's see. One of the questions we have, and we got a bunch of questions and a bunch of people in the room. I'm going to get to everybody before this is over with. I got one person asking, I think we may have asked this last week, a couple of weeks ago, but I'll say it again. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. What were your thoughts about that, Teddy? Should that have been Gunther and not Obafemi?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Opie, you know what I mean? The guy looks great. He looks the part, you know what I mean? And I've seen him a little bit. I think he can halfway work. But Gunther is just more, to me, more believable, and I think with the promos that he does and stuff, you know what I mean? He could have built that himself and made it more than what it really was. Gunther, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, like I said, congratulations to Omi, but to me, I would have rather seen Gunther there.
Yeah, I have nothing against the matchup between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar whatsoever. And a lot of people are waiting, saying this is going to be the big match of WrestleMania. I'm just saying that it felt like Gunther got passed over. And I didn't understand that. You built him to be a legend killer. You've built him to be one of the most feared people in the back. And a new guy that pops in from NXT has suddenly jumped over him and has the match that everybody thought was going to go to Gunther. And I do scratch my head about that a little bit. If I'm Gunther, I'm wondering just what the hell are you thinking?
I'll just wait on the finish.
Yep. We'll have to wait because you never know until you get there. Let's see. We have Chris Nelms popping in the room. Good to see you, Chris, saying good evening, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Chris. Good to see you, player.
And look here, Vito. Big Vito is in the room saying, I'm a fun guy. Vito is a part of JCW, and he and his work in JCW has been really, really good. And it's good to see somebody that's been kind of pushed down the card a lot and held back. When I see him in the back and I see what he's capable of doing, I'm extremely impressed. And anybody who's looking for someone for one of your shows, that's the guy you need to call.
Well,
Excuse me.
That's why you made a comment there, a guy like that, and and they don't do anything with him. You know what I mean? So
It's a shame.
so
That
many
happens all
guys.
the time too.
There are so many guys out there that have been to the big office that had talent, but it was talent or them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So yes, yeah.
Scott Lance in the room saying, hey guys, hope you are well. My question is, who do you think WWE is mishandling the most, and who would you like to manage on the current roster, Teddy?
I don't keep up with it that much to really answer that who they're mishandling or not. I don't think they're mishandling anybody. Maybe there's some people that are not maybe getting the push that they should be getting, but that's
Chelsea
that's
Green.
that, what did you just say?
Chelsea Green.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Mac maybe answered that question for you, but like I said, I don't. In my opinion, I don't think they mishandle anybody. I think they're not ready for you. They're not ready for you. So sometimes you have to go through a lot of stuff to get back on top. So just keep your head up, man, and just do what they say, and get your check.
Also, the other part of the question is, who would you like to manage on the current roster? Anybody that comes to mind that you'd like to manage? Maybe Obafemi. He's going to be a big
Uh,
deal, Teddy. You latch on to him, man. That's a money train right there.
well, that is not a money train if they don't want it to be a money train.
That's true.
Okay, that don't mean nothing. That it has to come from them. Yeah, he would be great. I would like to, do something with him. I had a chance to talk to him. He was a real nice guy. So yeah, that might be good.
All right, let's see. We have pretty classy lady saying, Teddy, is it true that people never used to mess with Ron Simmons backstage when it comes to pranks and ribs?
That is true. That is true. Ron didn't prank nobody, and Ron to let you know, don't prank him and don't rib him because he didn't do that. He wasn't he wasn't that kind of guy. No, did nobody bother Big Ron.
Yeah, that's somebody that I can't imagine that you would ever want to play with, because as nice as he is, and he is extremely nice, you just know when you meet him, he's not a guy you want to piss off either. Just
Right.
don't play games with him. That's all. Just don't play games.
Right.
Dave is in the room saying Ernest the Cat is coming to Fan Fest as well in
All right.
Fairview Heights, Illinois, up in the St. Louis area in May. Chad Driggers, let's see, is saying, Big Joe Helms, I hope you're doing better, brother. Yeah, Joe, we talked about you on the last show. And about the fact that you've had some issues medically, and hopefully everything is good now. I think the last time I talked to you, it sounded like you're on the mend pretty well, and that's good. And also, we have Elijah saying, hey, Teddy and Mac, did you see all of Monday Night Raw? And what did you guys think about Cody and Stephanie saying about their fathers, especially meant Vince, but without his name? We talked about that. Did we talk about that on the to ourselves or to the people?
Just answer the question. Okay, here's what I feel about that. I saw the Pro Bowl. I thought that was good, and I thought it was good to mention Vince's name. And like Mac and I have said in the past, this is my opinion. They need Vince right now. They really do, and because it's going to be done right, and I know that for I can test to that myself. So I hope there's something in the works. I hope that Vince McMahon does return. You know what I mean? We'll see a different programming, and people will start to come back. You know what I mean? And he'll show you where you don't have to charge an arm and a leg. You can charge the same thing, but you'll get more people. So sometimes greed can get in the way, and
And
so
we
Vince never, to me, he never showed me that he was greedy, but he knew how to continue the money flow. He knew how to keep it flowing. So I hope something does happen for him. I hope he does come back.
I've always kind of thought that I can't imagine that Vince McMahon would have handled things the way that TKO has handled things when it comes to ticket prices and everything else. Teddy got disconnected. God knows. Teddy, you still
Uh,
there?
yeah, I'm trying to get back with you.
Okay.
Let's see.
He's been having so many issues lately here. He's going to have to come back in the room in a second. Well, he totally disconnected. Oh, here he comes again. It's still a black screen there, Teddy. I can't see you. And he's gone again. Okay. By the way, I do want to mention, here he's popping in again. Let's see. Are you here this time, Teddy?
All
What
right,
did you
here I
do?
am.
What did you do?
That was Denise calling me.
Oh, Denise probably thinks that you're finished with the show because we started late. All right, Teddy, we do have a lot of people in the room. I want to start at least throwing up some of the stuff on the screen so we can see what's happening here. We have Dave saying WWE tickets just aren't worth it anymore. Not family friendly, just greedy.
What did I
We
just
have
say?
El Juggalo saying whoop, 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 my friend. Also, Joe working on it, Chad. Let's see, CT scan. This is Joe giving an update. And he will be at FanFest 4 in Fairview Heights as well. Let's see. I think we just had that one. See what else we got. Oh, wow, we got a lot going on, Teddy. The El Juggalo. So, Mac, got any word on if Violent J has been informed about the talks Vince Russo has been having with Tony Khan? This is a this is a real situation. Just recently, Tony Khan commented that he liked the work that Vince Russo was doing in JCW and that he watches the show. So a lot of people are hoping that maybe we'll see a combination of the two of them get together and have a conversation on the podcast somewhere because their thoughts are completely different in a lot of ways. So that would be interesting as long as Tony would be open, and not try to just play a game, but be open and have that discussion. Let's see. Glenn Williams, here he is, Big Nasty Teddy. Mac Davis and Teddy Long. I want to invite you both to be on my talk show segment, Nasty Talk, live at SICW FanFest 4. What do you say? Let's squash this beef live in front of the fans. Herb Simmons?
That's left up to Herb Simmons. If Herb Simmons agrees on that, because he's the man, the head promoter there, and if that's what he wants from me and Mac, then if Herb says it's okay, then it's okay with me.
All right, we have Nate saying, Teddy and Mac, good to see you. Mike Harold is also in here saying, Teddy, what is your favorite breakfast food?
I don't eat breakfast, man. I take a lot of supplements in the morning, and before I go to the gym, I start eating around 2:00 or maybe 2:30 in the afternoon, and I eat one meal there, and then maybe late that night, not too late, I might snack on something. That's about it.
All right, we have Chad saying, reffing sucks. God bless the great ones like Teddy and Bill Alfonso.
Well, it don't. I wouldn't say that, my man. Maybe if you're a ref, you had a bad experience with it. It don't suck. It's a good job, and if you know how to do it, you have a lot of fun. And if you know what I mean. And the fun part of it is being right there on time when you're supposed to be. And if you see something happen and the guys get confused, you can step in and help them out. You know what I mean. Everybody's on the same page, so it's a great job.
All right, let's see. We have Joe Hamilton or Nick that stopped in saying, yo, have a great night, guys. You too, Nick. Teddy, you had a recent show of his.
Oh, yeah. Joe Hampton, Nick Patrick, my man. Me and him rode together 20-some years. What a great guy to be friends with. I'm telling you, I love Nick. So, yeah, I did a show with him, and anytime he needs me, he can always call on me. And let me say to Tony, too, Nick's son, man. Love Tony. Holla, player.
All right, we have Michael Lotta saying, hey, good to see you in here, Michael. And also Scott Lance saying that memories from that night, you, Crime Time, and William Regal were dancing, and Ron Simmons came in for the damn. Was it done in one take?
One take.
One take. Yeah, I would imagine, because when you're talking about you and Ron, especially, and William as well. I'm not sure about Crime Time. Not sure how good they were on promos, although they seem pretty good as well. You got a group of guys that know how to do it.
They didn't have a whole lot to do. All they had to do was just be themselves. Yo. You know what I mean? Regal. Yep. All he had to do is just do something. You know what I mean?
And all Ron's got to do is go, damn.
Right.
All right, let's see. Dave saying, Vito, come to St. Louis. Let's see. We got a few more. Joe Helms saying, I feel they went off track with Jey Uso. Yeah, I do too. I think his father feels that way too. He's vocally said that a few times that they dropped the ball when it came to Jey Uso. But it could be a number of things backstage. Maybe, there's a lot of talk about his ability to maintain his breathing during matches, that he would blow up pretty quick. And I think it was a lot to do with just that entrance, Teddy, because his entrance was very energetic, coming down from the stands, doing this, thing with your arms up and down, you're pumping. It takes a lot out of you. People would be surprised to know that when you are a wrestler in the ring, some of the worst breathing time you have is when you're selling and you're acting like you're hurt and you're trying to sell that. It takes a lot out of you, and it actually will blow you up if you're not careful.
Yeah, well, that's why, you got to do that cardio.
Yes, you can't let it go either, like I did. Joe Abel in the room. Good to see you, Joe. Saying hello, my friends. I miss seeing you guys. Yeah, we miss seeing you too, Joe. Maybe in Jacksonville again. I don't know if we're going to be down in Jacksonville this year or not. That's something I think we're still waiting to find out about. And also, last one in here, Scott saying, bring back Vinnie Mac. I think a lot of people.
I agree.
I think a lot of people feel the same way. I really do. Guys, we appreciate you being in here and being in here with us when we went over time, because we started late, all on me, not on Teddy. I just was being stupid and talking to Teddy for 13 minutes with nobody watching the
No,
entire
you weren't
time.
being stupid. They know what you were full of.
Teddy, I hope you get that place fixed up, man. I hate to see that had happened. When do you expect any updates on this?
How much more time we got left here?
We're done.
Well, I tell you what.
Hello, Teddy.
I'm
Now you're gonna leave us hanging. You gotta tell Denise to give you a second. You know what I'm
She
saying?
know I'm doing the podcast. I don't get it. Okay, let me tell everybody right quick.
Okay.
April Fool. That was April Fool's joke. And what really happened there is my pipes under my condo busted or something. They started leaking. So the people had to come in and drill a hole in my floor so they could fix the pipes. And that's why I had to move out. But nothing seriously happened. We just thought we'd give you guys a good April Fool's joke.
Blame Teddy. It was all his idea. It was all Teddy's
No, it
idea.
was not. No,
Oh,
it was not.
yes,
I
it was.
told Mac what